On today's show, the guys are scratching the surface on virtual and augmented reality, its uses in and out of the classroom, and connected classrooms. Are you connected? We've also got an East Initiative update, all that and more up next on EduTechGuys. EduTechGuys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed under the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.
Hello and welcome to this episode of EduTechGuys Radio. I'm David Henderson.
Hey, and I'm Jeff Madlock.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
It's going to be a great show. Going to have some good talk about something I know very little about.
Well, that'll make two of us, and it'll be an awesome show.
I'm going to ask David questions, and he's going to school me on AR, VR, BR, DR, TR, AR, DR, BR. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at.
BR 549.
Hey, bing, 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 we've got a winner. Hey, listen, check us out on the web, www.edutechguys.com. You can actually just go out to Google, type in EduTechGuys, EduTechGuys, and you will find us anywhere. We're everywhere.
All around the world, statues crumble from... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's... Wrong show.
Oh.
I
thought we were doing the lyrics thing.
Oh, are you doing the lyrics thing?
No.
Well, you know, you need to beat it. So, remember, EduTechGuys.
Hey, Jude.
EduTechGuys. It's got a U in it. EDU, because without you...
It's just EdTech.
There you go.
Did I ever tell you my dad actually grew up with a guy whose name is EdTech?
No.
I know. I would love to get him on the show just because. I think it'd be awesome.
I'd like to see it in a phone book.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
EdTech.
Yeah.
Hey, remember to just check us out on the web. You can go to the website. You can go down to the bottom, and you'll find our little contact form. Fill it out and tell us who you are and all that kind of good stuff. And if you ever want to come on the show, you can get onto our site, contact us at calendly.com/edutechguys and sign up for a show. And we'd love to have you on as a guest. Also, we love making the show, and we love visiting with educators and hearing their stories at events all across the nation. Help us continue spreading the love by sponsoring either the show, a conference appearance, or both. Just visit edutechguys.com/sponsors to find out how you can help keep the EduTech Guys train a-rolling and a choo-choo-choosing to be your podcast of choice.
There you go.
Choo-choo-choosing. Made me think of Valentine's Day, and this is actually our Valentine's Day show.
Oh, it is. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone out there, or not, if that's not your thing.
I always remember there was the little choo-choo train, Valentine's, and it says, I choo-choo-choose you.
Oh, yes.
I think that was on a Simpsons episode, actually.
I don't really have a clue.
Me either. It's going to be a funny, loving, good time show today for Valentine's Day.
Good time.
Wait, was it St. Valentine's? Who drove the snakes out of Ireland? Was that him? I've lost you completely. Was it St. Patrick?
I have no idea. Wasn't that St. Patrick? Wasn't he
Did he
the
drive
snake
snakes?
guy?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know the patron saint of snake driving.
Yeah.
I wonder who the patron saint of cat herding is. Now, see, it sounds like I'm making fun of it. I'm not. St. Valentine. All I know is about the massacre. That's the only thing in Chicago when they shot up all the gangsters. The St. Valentine.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right, man.
Who knew that years later they would be selling cards and Valentine flowers for a gangster murder?
And how funny that we know exactly what that is, but who St. Valentine is, and St. Patrick, and which one was the snake, and I don't know.
Hey, all of that takes us right into today's topic: virtual reality.
We seem to be living in a virtual reality as we speak.
We like to talk about the conferences we've been at. In every conference we go to now, anything to do with tech integration in a classroom and expanding a student's knowledge and expanding the learning capabilities in the classroom, you cannot turn left or right without bumping into VR and AR. And
if you're wearing the headset, literally,
it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex in my living room.
and you're trying to run away physically, and you run into the wall. Or the worst thing, when you are using a VR headset that is connected to a computer and you physically move or try to dodge something, and the headset is tethered. Therefore, it has a limited range. You, however, keep going, and suddenly, you're pulling stuff off your head.
How'd you break your neck, sir? It's a VR headset.
It's a VR incident.
Yeah. First, I ripped it off the unit and about broke my neck, and then my wife hit me upside the head with it. So, it's a twofer.
At that point, it becomes augmented.
Yeah. That's good. So, no, really, virtual reality, it brings a lot to the classroom. If you haven't played with it, or if you thought, this is just a fad, or this is something that's, I couldn't use in my classroom. Whoa, you're wrong. You could use it in your classroom. It's right off the top of the bat, field trips. Here's the interesting thing about the 21st century to me and students. To them, why do I need to go there in real life when I can just go there in VR? I can see pictures of it. Well, now I can put on a headset and I'm standing in, Yellowstone National Park watching the fire waterfall, the one that lights up at sunset, because the way the sun comes through.
Oh, cool. No, yeah. I actually didn't know about that. No.
I don't know its actual name. It just shows you that the EduTech
it's probably like Fire Falls or something.
It's like one of like 4 things we don't know. But oh, I'm sorry, that was 4, and out beside it, it's
how many zeros were that?
It's a 1. It's a little 1 and like 18 zeros.
Yeah.
4 to
times 10 to the
4 to the 10 googleth or whatever.
There you go.
10 to giggle. I giggle.
We do that a lot too.
How much is a giggle?
A little more, a little less than a laugh.
On this show, it's free.
Oh! I see what you did there.
Anyway, virtual field trips are a lot of fun, and nowadays you don't have to even have real expensive gear, and it's been that way for I guess the last couple of years. Facebook's doing a lot of work even here in Arkansas by providing Oculus Rifts for a lot of schools, but you can get a Google Cardboard design and build just some stuff and stick a cell phone in it, and you're rocking and rolling. It is really neat to immerse yourself fully in a virtual world with the audio and the ability to control some aspects of it. And
sure.
That's really neat. Oculus Rift and Samsung and several of them make some really neat pieces.
Well, and the thing with when you put on a VR headset versus just looking at a picture of something, I like to take, for example, either like the Arch in St. Louis or the Eiffel Tower or Roman Colosseum, right? You can look a picture of it and you see there's people there and you get a general sense of scale, okay. But when you put on a VR headset and you are standing at the Arch or at the Eiffel Tower and you're at the base and you have to physically tilt your head upward in order to see where the heck the top went. I mean, you really at that point, you are in it. You get that full sense of scale because you are completely immersed in that experience.
And that's really cool because you're right. I think in that whole aspect of the size and the scope of where you are makes a big difference. Yeah. You can look at a picture and they can go, here's Mount Rushmore and here's a normal human standing beside it. That's one thing. But if you're standing at it, looking at it, in real life or virtually, where you have to, I have to crane my neck up. That's huge.
Right.
That's a massive piece of rock.
Yes,
with presidential faces etched on it. How did they do that? It's a big 3D printer.
Huge.
It's a rock printer, rock 3D printer.
Rock printer from the Flintstones.
You say that, but think there will be a generation that asks how that was done. And did they do that with,
Well, we do that now with pyramids.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on, especially
an alien 3D printer. We all know.
Well, especially the passageways and all the stuff under the pyramids. That's the pyramids that we see on top. Yeah, there's some speculation or whatever.
Aliens.
Okay, but all the different passageways underneath, and some of the, just some of the intricate details that go into those passages. And you're like, how did they even do that?
Well, yeah, think about it. They find stuff inside there that was in there that couldn't have been moved through the passages.
Yes.
So did they print it in here? Aliens did. So it had to be aliens printing it inside it when they were printing it.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
We just solved the
think about
life universe.
I can't wait till they have that kind of neat thing where you have this device. It's some kind of super photon laser cutter, and you go to a mountain and you stick it on the side of the mountain and go, great, and it carves Snoopy in it. You know what I mean?
of all of the things,
3 weeks later,
carve into the side of a mountain.
Snoopy in Woodstock.
Okay.
Snoopy in Woodstock. We have a Schultz hater here, people.
I just think it's funny that of all the things in the world, that's what you pick.
Okay, we're
famous people.
I'm sorry, I took the exit. We stopped at Stuckey's. We had the pecan log, and I'm sorry we got way off topic. And now we're gonna pull back on the interstate here.
No, you went Snoopy and Woodstock. We stopped at Buc-ee's.
That's what it was. So really, virtual reality though. If you watch the Winter Olympics here lately, if you watch the opening, they had some amazing virtual reality usage in live television. So they're showing all this cool stuff, and then suddenly these stars lift off the ground and fly into the sky, and then hover there and create this dome and this starscape around what's happening on this giant stage that Samsung's illuminated with all this cool stuff. Anyway, but it's interesting because when I saw it, I was like, wow, how did they do that? Is that like some fishing line or something holding that up there? And then Katie Couric comes on and goes, well, that's for the people at home. You're seeing stuff that we hear and at the site we can't see, and it's VR stuff.
Yeah,
and I was just like, what? That's crazy.
Well, and that actually brings up an interesting topic, because at that point you're talking more augmented reality than virtual reality.
Right, because it's live with virtual reality in it.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to
it's kind of the blending of those. When I am viewing something through a piece of equipment, whether it's a phone in Google Cardboard or whether I'm wearing an Oculus Rift, although that's a little different. Generally, it would need to be a device that has a camera attached, so that it can show you what's currently reality, and then augmenting that with whatever effects are going on, like the little balls that flew up in the air, or whatever other things are going. I didn't see the opening ceremony, so I'm not sure what all that covered. But of course, there's a whole lot of talk of things like Microsoft HoloLens and other augmented realities, where you put on the headset, or you're looking through your phone at the table, and you are playing a game involving these animated characters that are running all over the table, but they're actually only doing it through the augmentation of your phone. But what's really cool is that it's becoming so advanced that if you are playing on a table surface and your tank rolls off the quote-unquote edge of the table, in reality, virtually, it knows that's the edge of the table, and down it goes. I mean, it is so crazy.
That is great. I think my favorite part about augmented reality right now is the fact that you could have an entire conference, an exhibit hall, with just tables and blank walls. And when you pick your phone up or you put on your goggles or whatever you do, everything is there virtually.
Yeah.
Augmented into reality. There's signs, and there's devices, and there's robots, and there's code flying by, and you see this just massive cool thing. But you take it off, and it's just two guys sitting at a table with the microphones. And so it's like, where'd all the stuff go? That's just really cool to me, that we're getting to that interesting point where the Google Glass thing, and there's several shows out now on Netflix that are really interesting, that look at the future that way, where people have certain contacts in their eye.
Oh yeah.
And they see, you see all this overlay, kind of what Google Glass is hoping to eventually become, where, you've got that overlay going on, so you're seeing all this stuff in real time.
Kind of like a Minority Report coming to life.
Yeah. I think it's not far away. I think we're going to see that. But one of the cool things we did see at FETC was augmented reality used to create sets, create three-dimensional sets, so that the kids could interact in those sets. I mean, how many, we talk about this a lot. We talked about this on a virtual reality show before about the Globe Theater. But, we didn't even take it as far as it's come to this point. So now you could build the Globe Theater stage in 3D in an augmented reality set, and then the students can interact inside it.
Yeah.
So they're on the stage at the Globe Theater.
Well, and what's really cool is, so leading into our next, kind of the other one of the other things that we were wanting to cover is the whole idea of connected classrooms. So if you have, you've got your augmented reality pieces. So you've got the students who, in your example, they've created this virtual Globe Theater. You have students in the room who are using augmented reality to be on the stage. But then you take a step further, and now you've connected to classrooms in, England and India and Australia, and they're all attached, through whatever mechanism that would be, all also participating in the augmented reality. So now you have this whole group of students who are physically not next to each other, but through virtual and augmented reality and the connected classrooms, they're all up on stage performing together.
Yeah, that's really
that's
cool.
Freaking awesome.
Well, think about it, you've got your whole quiz bowl contestant stage with all the stuff, and everybody looks like they're on the same stage. You've got your own, and so there's the spectators, the rest of the class watching the interaction are seeing it as just like we did for the Olympic opening. We're seeing something that you're not even seeing there live, but you're still getting that experience.
Right.
I tell you, that's connected classroom wise. That really puts it in a really neat, well, and think about that. We say we're from Arkansas, and we build a virtual augmented environment of what it looks like here. The trees, because it's, Southwest Arkansas is a beautiful place. A lot of big trees, a lot of big pines. Mm-hmm. And for someone in, Australia living in the outback, they don't see that.
Right.
And so, and we don't see the deserts that they have or the outback or anything like that. It'd be really neat for connected classrooms to see what those students are seeing on their end, the Sydney Opera House or, the Arkansas River or, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really pretty cool. You're right. That takes connected classrooms to a whole new level. And the beautiful part about all of this is that there is that percentage of students in your classroom that love the interaction and that they love, being part of it. But there's a huge percentage that want to build it and they want to code it.
Right.
And they want to know, how do I make this? And they're the ones that take it to the next level. They're the ones that come to this country and go, okay, I want to do what they did in the early 1970s. I want to take a heavy rocket and put a car in space.
Right.
That's where we're back to now. It's like, I want to do this. And think at one point, the idea of being an astronaut was slowly dwindling pretty quickly when NASA said, well, we're done doing that. Mm-hmm. And now look where we are all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
We're right back in the middle of it.
Yeah. There's been a huge increase in the interest of space exploration mm-hmm. and rocket building and, all that stuff.
And now they can do it all in a virtual environment. And I truly believe, I've not visited any of these labs, but I have this sneaking suspicion that virtual and augmented reality are being used in development and research at a level that we can't comprehend right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It saves millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. It's safe. You're still getting you're getting even more precise mathematics from it, really. When you're re-rendering it and you're rendering this, you're getting the exact, calculations, and it's all about the right math is what it all comes down to.
Well, and then you look at other fields. Look at what they're doing with augmented reality and things like surgery, mm-hmm. And other things that they're doing in biological sciences and for that matter, earth sciences and the things they're doing with augmented reality and virtual reality in terms of archaeology.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about pyramids and stuff earlier, and it's amazing the stuff that they're
rebuilding.
Doing.
Yeah. They're just going, hey, we can rebuild this entire, lost city underneath the Mediterranean virtually so you can walk the streets again. Yeah, that's really crazy.
It's amazing.
Crazy stuff. So, yeah, if you have some great stuff you'd like to share, you'd like to come on the show and talk to us about VR, AR, connected classrooms, remember, go out to Calendly, calendly.com/EduTechGuys and sign up, or just reach out to us, Jeff or Dave, Jeff or David at edutechguys.com, or you can go to the website www.edutechguys.com, go down to the bottom and fill out the contact form. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you on the show.
Awesome. Hey, you know what we're going to do is we're going to step aside and we're going to let the folks from the EAST program here in Arkansas update you with the latest EAST Initiative update. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Spencer Watson with the EAST Initiative. Welcome to the EAST Update. This week, we're taking a look at EAST in action by way of an EAST project in progress at Don Roberts Elementary School in Little Rock. Here's Lakeithia Wiley, a parent, recalling how she was approached about a project to help her daughter, Naraya.
One day, after school, me picking up the girls, and Miss McBride actually approached me, and she told me that her girls in the EAST program have come up with this wonderful idea to 3D print Naraya some thumbs, and would I be, okay with it? And of course I'm like, yeah, I would.
You heard that right. These EAST students wanted to 3D print a set of thumbs for Naraya, a classmate who was born without them. These elementary school students decided to 3D print a set of prosthetic thumbs. To do it, they're working with a business, Hanger Prosthetics, which scanned the thumbs of a classmate with similar-sized hands to Naraya's. But that's not all they're doing. Here's East facilitator Carmen McBride.
We have started to design a brace to attach the thumb to, and so that's what my students are working on right now. And we're in kind of like the fourth prototype stage where we're trying to figure out like the straps and where the thumb's going to go. And so right here you can see that they're actually 3D printing another brace to try to get a better scan. And we have a different type of filament that we're going to use to try to print this out of. It's a softer, more bendable filament. It's called flexible filament. And we're going to try using that so that it doesn't rub her hand when it's not around her wrist and around her thumb. And then we have to figure out a way to attach the thumb to the model. And so that'll be a challenge in and of itself as well. So it's all of that. We do plan to have it done by the end of the year.
This is what happens when you give students technology and you tell them to use it in service to the community. They will decide to change the world.
This program is so interesting because the students come up with projects that are extremely out of the box, and your knee-jerk reaction is to say, I don't think you can do that. But when you say, okay, let's try and let's research and let's see what's out there, it's kind of amazing to see what they can find after researching and seeing what's available. And then with the technology we have in this classroom, the sky really is the limit. The company we're working with doesn't even have 3D printers, and they're like, okay, we'll send you the scans and you guys can print it there. So it's been pretty cool to see what they really are capable of. Last year we 3D printed a yearbook for blind students, so that was a pretty out of the box one. And so since we did that project, I feel like it's kind of opened us up to like some just crazy stuff. And now when they come up with stuff, I'll say, okay, let's do it, let's try. Why not?
Why not, indeed. Naraya's life has been one of adaptation, of finding ways to hold a pencil or eat her food or button her shirt, all without the use of her thumbs. She's managed, even thrived in finding her own ways to do things. Still, why not change a life forever if given the chance?
The end result of her actually getting them on her hand and being able to give those 2 thumbs up that day, that's going to be the greatest feeling ever. Going from 11 years of nothing to actually having something that she could use in everyday life is life-changing.
If you are interested in knowing more about the EAST Initiative, from information on student projects to the professional development services we offer to educators of all kinds, please visit www.eastinitiative.org or just search for EAST Initiative on social media. If you are interested in finding out how to get an EAST classroom for a school near you, please contact eastinfo@eaststaff.org. That's EASTINFO at EASTSTAFF.org. Special thanks to Naraya and Lakethia Wiley, as well as Carmen McBride and the students of EAST at Roberts Elementary School. The music you've been hearing is called Purple, PURPL3, by Nathan Dungan of EAST at Viola High School. Again, I'm Spencer Watson, and that's the EAST Update.
Hey, thanks, Spencer. That's wonderful to hear what's going on with the EAST Initiative here in Arkansas and around the country. We want to thank EAST Initiative for always providing us with some timely, very informative updates. You can catch them on the web at www.eastinitiative.org. And you can also find them on Twitter at EAST Initiative.
There you go.
Join them, listen to them, watch them. Their website's great. They happen to have their EAST Initiative, their EAST conference coming up in March, which these 2 guys will be at.
Yeah, we're going to be at the EAST conference, providing live conference coverage, and that is going to be like Jeff said, in March from Hot Springs, from the Convention Center. So really looking forward to hanging out. That's going to be March 13th through the 15th. And what's really exciting about that, to me is, a lot of these conferences, we mostly talk to educators. And I love talking to educators, absolutely do. But at something like the East Initiative, then we get to take it another step and really put the students in the hot seat and talk to the students about what they're doing and what's going on. And specifically in this case, what are some of the projects that they came up with and how those projects are impacting their community.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And these kids are real go-getters. You're going to hear some really cool stuff that they do in the East Initiative.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And then in June, we are going to be at the HISTE, the Hot Springs Technical Institute or Technology Institute.
Technology Institute, yep.
And that is also in Hot Springs. Well,
yep.
I guess so, since it's the Hot Springs.
Hot Springs.
Shows you how smart I is.
Into July, we'll be up in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
At Flipgrid Live 2018. We're looking forward to going to that one. And there's a lot of stuff coming in between. Just make sure you stay in tune with us on the website or on Twitter or social media. You can find out where you can catch us live.
Awesome.
It's been a great show, Dave.
Hey, it has, man. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm David Henderson.
I'm Jeff Madlock.
You've been listening to EduTechGuys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.